Okay, so this is the all new Renault Mégane, and it is no longer a internal combustion car. It is only electric, so therefore it is not going to be a competitor to the Volkswagen Golf and the likes, but more it's going to be competing with the Volkswagen ID.3, the Tesla Model 3, and this sort of cars. So, and let's have a look at it. So as an electric car, it has to be as efficient as it can be. So therefore you have no grill, you only have the cooling down here of course for the battery pack, and you also have this aero tunnel to make it more aero efficient. The drag coefficient is 0.29, which is not the best. It could be, it's actually quite high, but still it gives the car good aerodynamics so that it can have as good range as it's possible. Okay, so the next thing is the wheels. You have 20-inch wheels with kind of narrow tires, they are 215, 45, 20. But what you have on the wheels is electric tires. So these are Goodyear efficient grip performance, but they are optimized for electric drive. So these tires, they should also help the car with their low rolling resistance to give it better range. Okay, so the next aerodynamic feature are these hidden door handles that when you need to open the car, they just pop up like this. But of course, when you're driving, they are hidden like this, and therefore they are giving you much smoother airflow around the car and giving you better range. Okay, so one small problem of this otherwise beautiful design, it's a really nice car. The one small problem is you have a really small rear window, and therefore you cannot see from the driver's side. You cannot see very well to the back. And the solution to this problem is a little camera behind the glass, and that gives you a digital rear view mirror in the front, so that you can change it from normal glass to digital screen, recording what is happening behind the car. Otherwise, the boot, you open the boot with a button like this, and then you open it up, and what you get is 440 liters of boot capacity, with also some tray for the cables underneath the boot floor. So yeah, it's a reasonable size, not too small, not too big. Okay, so one bigger problem is that I'm sitting behind myself, and as you can see, there just isn't room for sitting in the back for me. My feet also, they don't have a lot of space underneath the seat, and my knees are completely into the front seat. Otherwise, on the head, it's okay. Even though the roof is going down, it's pretty good. But yeah, there is just not enough space in the back. Okay, so let's go for a drive with the new Mégane, and they have made quite a big changes in the interior. Not only the design, but actually the whole car is quieter by more than 50% than the Renault Zoe, which is quite a big improvement. And you can just stop the video now, and I will put there the decibels of noise when driving at 50, 100 kilometers and 130 kilometers per hour. So stop the video now. Okay, so as you can see, this car is quite quiet. Then again, you have two options. You either can get the variant with a smaller battery pack, which I don't know, but you can drive up to 300 kilometers with it, or you can get this one, which is 60 kilowatt hours, and you can drive up to 470 kilometers in city conditions with this car. You also have the most power, 220 horsepower and 300 newton meters of torque. That means that the acceleration figures are quite nice, and the car actually, the dynamic in the straight line and when you're overtaking is quite nice. You can again stop the video now to see how quickly it goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Okay, so as you could have seen, it's 7 seconds, and the top speed with this car is 166 kilometers per hour, which is just enough for even for the motorway. It's okay, but of course you would like to go in even faster, maybe sometimes. But probably the biggest point with this car is how efficient it is when driving. This is the first like small electric car that I was able to do highway driving at highway speeds between 130 160 kilometers per hour without having to worry that I'm going to stop for a charging very soon. I have easily done more than 220 kilometer journeys on one charge, which is great. Really, I mean, really, this is the first small electric car that I can imagine using from day to day, even for longer journeys. So that is a very, very good thing. Otherwise, the interior, of course, is new. You have a mix of quality of the materials. You have some hard touch plastics, yes, but not on so many surfaces. They are mostly even only here in the central console and down on the door, like on the door bins, but everywhere else there is like leather around, so it really feels nice. And they even upped the quality of the carpets, and these carpets, they are also now in the door bins, which gives it a more of a premium feel. You also get as optional Harman Kardon stereo, which is what you also can get in a BMW. That is a nice thing, and the whole the build of the interior feels quite rigid. You know, nothing squeaks, no plastic, so it is really a nice place to be. Maybe the ergonomics of the interior, something I did not like is this center console, which is quite high and you cannot adjust it. And sometimes when I was driving around the city, or maybe even driving fast, when I was trying to go quickly to the right, my elbow was like just locked in because I couldn't go across it. So that is maybe a small ergonomic fail of this car. But yeah, otherwise it's great. You have also the multi-sense button for changing the driving mode. You have it now on the steering wheel, and you press it, and with these presses you change the driving styles, which you can also personalize. Then you have the great connectivity which Renault has, because it has Google services. So you have Google Maps, Google Podcasts, Google Assistant in this car, which makes using this car as for daily tasks much easier, and that is, I think, a great thing. In terms of driving, you have a very precise and very sharp steering in this car, really sharp. And the suspension is in itself, it's quite soft, but then you can feel the rigidity of the chassis of the car, and you can also feel that you have 20-inch wheels with not so tall tires. So there is like a mix of quite rigid driving, but paired with this soft mat to the end of the bumps. You can sometimes feel that the 20-inch wheels are quite heavy, and this unsprung mass, sometimes on the bigger bumps, you can feel how it just bumps and how this bump is then finishing. But all around, the quality of the ride is nice. You also get some nice feedback through the steering wheel, even through the seat, which has also the massage function in this particular model, because this is the top of the line one, and you can get to this massage function very, very quickly with a shortcut on the side of the seat, which then lets you go to the settings of the seats. You have the massage for the driver and the passenger in the back. You also have some pretty nice ambient lighting. You have lots of colors to choose from. Yeah, so overall, using this car day to day is a very nice, very comfortable experience. You can also accelerate very fast. It really is quite quick, this car. I mean, look, it just puts me back. So yeah, it's a very good thing Renault did. Very good work from the Renault engineers. There are of course, small fails, smaller like things that could be done better, like this central armrest, like more space for the rear passengers. But otherwise, I have to say it's a really nice package. And as an electric car, it costs this one over 50,000. But that is a price you pay for an electric car today. So if you're looking for a smaller electric car that you can use day to day, I think this is a very good option. And so when you need to recharge its 60 kWh battery, you can do that with the DC charging with a speed of 130 kilowatts, or now we're just plugged into an AC charger with a speed of 22 kilowatts. Okay, so what then is the final verdict on the brand new all-electric and only electric Renault Mégane? Well, they certainly improved in a lot of areas, like the quietness, the more premium feeling of the car, and it is a really very usable, efficient electric car. So I think when you're choosing a smaller electric car for your daily task, you should definitely consider this car, because it's also for a quite a decent price, from 37,000 to 51, almost 52,000. So it's a really decent price, so you should really consider it. Okay? So keep it in mind and see you in a different video.